Alright, hey Mac users, this is Mrs. Lamphere, and in this video we're going to be looking at the next assignment, which is, I'm in Unit 3, and it is the Turn Your Essay into a Website assignment. So for this assignment we're actually going to be using our Webmaster Roles essay that we wrote back in Unit 2, and we're going to turn that into an actual web page. So first off, let's go ahead and open that essay that we wrote. So I'm going in my IT Explorations folder. Inside my web design folder, inside Unit 2 is where you should have it saved, and you'll notice our Webmaster Roles text document. So if we were to just double click on that and try to open it up, you'll notice it opens up, it defaults to this text edit program, which we don't want to use. So go ahead and open Apple Q, quit that, and then we need to right click on that file and then actually open it up in Text Wrangler. That's the program we want to keep using for our HTML code. And so here's our essay. You'll notice I actually, if you haven't done this yet, add in this title that says Webmaster Roles. So just enter down a few spaces above your paragraph and put in the title Webmaster Roles. Once you have your essay open, let's go back into our text, and we actually have to copy some code from our course here. So again, I'm in Unit 3, Introduction to HTML. And I'm going to click on this link here called Effective Design. I apologize for the sneezing baby in the background. Alright, and then from here, we're going to fast forward to page 10. That's where the code is that we need to use for this project. If you scroll down a little bit, there's a little CSS code pop-up window here. So we're going to actually highlight this first section just from the HTML tag down to the heading tag. Highlight that, copy, and then let's go into our Webmaster Roles. Enter down one line so we can paste that in here. There we go. Alright, so you'll notice that we have our first CSS style listed here. We talked about these in our Class Connect. And so we're going to apply these different CSS styles to our web page. So let's go ahead and go back and grab the rest of the code that we're going to need in order to apply this style. So just grab from here, we want this body tag and this first line of code here. Copy just this part of the code. And then we're going to return down a line here. Make sure I'm under my heading tag but before my role here, and paste. Okay, so the first style we're going to create, we're going to remove this style named paragraph, and we're going to call this title text. And so with this style we need to have a font color, a font style, a font weight, and a font size. So we actually need to add in the font family that we want to use for this style. So type in font family, colon, and let's go ahead for now just use Verdana, semicolon. Don't forget that semicolon, otherwise this won't work. So add in the font family, and then we're going to use Verdana. And go ahead and keep it green, bold, 12. Let's make this a little bigger for now. Maybe 18-point font. And then we need to apply this style, and we're going to apply it to our web page. And the style is not called paragraph. We changed the name of it to title text. So we're applying the style title text to our web page at this point. And then we need to go ahead and grab the last portion of this code in order to kind of tell it all to turn off at the end. So we're going to return down and then paste that code at the very bottom of our page. Alright, let's just file and save that and open it up and see what it looks like at this point. So if I save that, I go to open this up. Oh, sorry, go back. We need to save this as an HTML document, and then we should be able to open it. So File, Save As, and then we want to be in our Unit 3 folder for this assignment, and we're actually going to name this CSS assignment.html. and save. So now let's go ahead and open that up and see how it looks. Alright, so here's our web page so far. So all we've done is applied one style to our page. So we're actually going to apply several, but this is a good start to see that our style took. Go ahead and create another style that we're going to apply just to our paragraph here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy everything from the first style so I don't have to retype it all. And then I'm going to return down after that last brace there and paste all that information for the next style. And this one we're going to call paragraph. And for this one, maybe we want blue colored font. Maybe we want Comic Sans MS for our font family. Let's just call this regular and 14-point font. Okay, now we're going to apply this font to our paragraph. So let's go ahead and copy this line of code where we applied our title text. Copy, and then we're going to paste this line of code right before our paragraph. So before this takes, we have to tell it to stop the previous style. So we're going to return down below our title, webmaster roles, and apply this stop to style tag. Okay, so here we're telling it to start our title text style. Here we're telling it to stop. Now we're telling it to apply. We want to apply our paragraph style that we just made. And apply that to the paragraphs of our web page, and then we're going to put in a stop style following our paragraphs. So let's go ahead and save that and open that up and check it out. Okay, so now we have our webmaster roles, our title with our title text style applied, and then we have our paragraph with our paragraph style applied. So next we're going to create a style for our citations. So let's go back into our code and let's go ahead and copy the information we put in for the last style, return down one, and paste that information again. And this style, we're going to call it cite text for our citations. So maybe for this style, I want it to be Courier New for my font. Let's make it red. We can go ahead and leave it bold, 12 point. And I actually, after looking at my page, I want my title to be a little bigger. So I'm going to go up here into my title text style and change this to be like 36-point font. So I want that to be nice and big at the top of my page. Okay. So now I need to apply the cite text style that I just made. So I'm going to again copy this line of code where I applied my last style. Return down one below my paragraphs, paste it here, and this time the style is called cite text. Oh, and then you can see that style, that end style tag's already in there, so we don't have to retype that. Okay, so let's go File, save that, refresh our page, and there that style applied to our citations. But you'll notice my title text didn't get any bigger, so let's go figure out what's going on there. Font size 36 point. What if we do pixel? There we go. So for some reason it didn't like the 36-point font, but it seemed to be okay with pixel. So take out the space PT and type in pixel with no space right next to the number. And it seems to like that a little bit better. There we go. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want my two sources on two separate lines. So we're going to add in a line break between my two sources. So my web page, as it's reading this code, I have to tell it to enter in a line break. So after my first citation, I'm just going to add in a simple line break. Looks like that. And that tells my web page to move that next source down a line. Okay, last thing I need to do is add in some color to my background here. So I need to create one more style, and we're going to call this, let's just type this one up from scratch because it's really short. We're going to call this BG color. And then go ahead and, I don't know, it's easier for me just to, I suppose, copy. We'll go ahead and copy it just because it's a little easier to copy and paste so we don't miss anything, but we don't need all of this stuff. We just need, so let's highlight all of that, type in background color, and from here we'll want to open up our let's look over our HTML codes for all of our different colors and pick what we want for our background page. So I'm going to go back into our course, go into the Content tab. Once you're in the Content tab, go to Course Materials, and we want to open up this chart of colors. And then scroll through and pick out a color that we want for our background. To pick something that's easy to read with the rest of the colors we have going on our page, I'm going to go ahead and go with this Gainsborough color. Copy the code for that Gainsborough color, and now I'm pasting it right here after I had typed out background color. So paste in your code for what color you want your background to be, and then don't forget the semicolon. You've got to add that semicolon after the code there in order for it to apply. So now we've got our style created. Now we have to go in and create that, or apply that style, which is actually super easy to do. So we go in, we find our body tag, and we want to apply this background color to our body tag. So within our body tag, we're going to type in span class, =, quotation mark, BG color, quotation mark. So now we're telling to apply this background color style to the body of our web page. So let's go ahead and file and save that and refresh our web page, and there it is. So we have our title with our title text style, we have our paragraphs with our paragraph style, and then we have our citations with the cite text style that we created, and we have our background color. So the last thing we want to do, let's go up here to the title of our page, and this is still our Webmaster Roles essay. And now you can see that applies to the tab on our web page as well. Let's double check our instructions, our final instructions for this assignment. So we changed our Webmaster Role essay. We use internal CSS to set the properties for background color, title, body text, and our citation. We have it saved in our Unit 3 folder as CSS assignment, so double check your folders to make sure that this is saved in your Unit 3 as CSS assignment.html. Since this assignment only contains one file, you don't have to zip it, just submit the file. So for when you go to submit this, you just need to upload this CSS assignment.html file to the Dropbox, and you'll be good to go.